Hi everyone. We wanted to do a video showing you all how to transcribe the strata cards into GIS. And I'm going to start this one with basically going through the whole process, starting over at the guide, opening up your spreadsheet, and then digitizing in the area, and then transcribing everything into the form. So I'm going to go ahead and share screens here. And here we are. So I'm at the guide right here. So what we're gonna do first is, we're gonna go to the folder that contains the unit records, and I'm gonna go to completed, and I'm working on MT1030. We did Stratum O the last time. So I'm gonna open up this, and here's all the records here. And one thing I realized I hadn't shown you all is it helps in the digitizing process and transcribing process to do these in order of excavation. And how to do that is if you go to the front yard Google sheet and we go down to 1030, you can see here that are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different strata. And if it's all letters like O, A, B, B2, C, you know what order they're in. But with this feature, you don't know when it was excavated. And one clue to this is that the inventory numbers are taken out in the sequence of excavations. So you can see this one is 7833. That one's way up here between layers A and B. So what we'll want to do is transcribe feature 620 after we do layer A, and that'll keep it in the sequence and keep you the order of what happened in terms of how we do the transcription. So now that we're gonna do this, we for layer O, I had already done that with you all. I'm gonna put my initials right here, and then I'm going to do layer A next. So I'm going to put my initials here, and then what we'll do is go ahead and go to the map. And to do that, we'll go to the guide and click on the GIS map right here. And up it comes. And then we'll search for 1030. And I realize what happens when you do this, it pops up automatically. So you can just click on Units View 1030, and then we're right here. And when we click on this, we can see there's only one record, layer O. So we are going to want to add some more. So we'll go to Edit, and this is going to pop up. And what we'll want to do is go to our A card. Here's our O card. We've done this one, transcribed this one, and we want to go to the A card. And so we can see A goes across almost all the unit, but then here's the feature right here. So A is this area right in here. So when we digitize this, what we're going to do is north is up this way. North is to the kind of the northeast on this map. So when we digitize this, what we're going to do is click on for add features, this green polygon right here, and then this will allow us to begin to digitize. And this is where you can either click from corner to corner, or you can hold the control key down, and when you move the mouse over, you'll see this blue crosshair, and you can click there. I'm clicking with my mouse, clicking here. I'm going to go down to about right here, and this is about where this edge is, right before this G. And I'm going to click it right here because this strata doesn't go all the way to the corner, and then go straight down to here and double click, and this is our strata A. And then once you double click, the form comes up to enter all the information in. So in this case, this is unit 1030. The stratum is A. We'll want to use uppercase. There's no feature. project is what's listed right here, mansion front yard. The site is OR249, that's already been selected for you. The area is front yard, the location is front yard, and then the northing and easting we get from the horizontal location. So that's 522.5 for the northing, and just enter the number. The easting is 687.5. And then the datum is what's listed below here. And that's the northwest corner right here. And that's north 522.5. And then the easting is 582.5. Or I'm sorry, 682.5. And again, that's from right here. And then the open is the opening date. And this is 24th of June, 05. So we'll put this in month, date, year. So this is 6/24/2005. And the thickness is the range of thickness between the opening and closing. So you subtract the closing from the opening. And I usually just write this down on a piece of paper on the side. And so the difference between 0.57 and 0.5 is 0.07. The difference for the northeast is 0.32 minus 0.31, and that's 0.01. The difference between the northwest is 0.5 to 0.43, so that's 0.07. The difference between 0.56 and 0.46 is 0.1. That's the biggest one so far. And then here, the difference between 0.52 and 0.44 is 0.08. And so my smallest number is 0.01. The biggest number is 0.1. So for this one, I'm going to put the range here. And you can see there's your hint right there. It says to put the range is 0.1 to 1.0 feet. And then for the next is whether, what percentage of trowel versus shovel and mattocks. And the mattocks is the pick. This is trowel and trenching tool, hoe, shovel, and pick. And there's only two circled here, trowel and shovel. So I'm going to divide those 50%. So the trowel will be 50 and the shovel will be 50. And then for the screening type right here, this is 1/4 inch. We don't worry about the H2O. This is dry 1/4 inch. And then the excavation type here is whether it's arbitrary or stratigraphic. Since this letter, stratum letter, doesn't have a number after it, means that A hasn't been divided into A1 and A2 or A3. It's stratigraphic. If it has an A1 and A2, it means there's an arbitrary division made. But in this case, it's stratigraphic. And for the discussion, this is where we get into the stratigraphic definition and the stratigraphic description and discussion. And so for this, we just type everything here from below all the way to down to, and this, you can see this hint right here comes up, taken from the first part of the stratigraphic definition. So we'll start this below O. Removed a layer of 7.5 YR 4/4 brown loam, which is with 10% 2.5 YR 4/6 red silty clay down, and then when you get to down to, you can stop. And then after this, what you'll do is you'll enter in the compaction, and I'm going to move the physical below, above and below to down here. This will be, I've moved some of these around since we met before, just so it conforms with the form. I forgot to move these two. But then you'll start to put all the description for the layer into these fields right here. So for compaction, usually this is going to be none listed. The color is, in this case, is brown, what we typed in there. So brown. The hue is 7.5 YR, and then the chroma is 4/4. And so it's kind of handy because once you type it in, it's all right there for you to look at. And then the texture is, let's see, that was a brown loam. And so this is a texture is a loam. And then stone inclusions, there's none listed here. You just type out what, if it said with rounded rocks, you type that in. There's no architectural inclusions, which would be brick or mortar. The sediment inclusions, there actually is something, because they said with a 10% 2.5 YR 4/6 red silty clay. So I'm just actually gonna copy this red silty clay. You can copy it, and this sediment inclusions is basically these kind of soil inclusions, and so that gets put right there. And a lot of times you will have this. Now the transition is everything after down to. So we'll put here, we'll start typing down to an area of 40% 2.5 YR 4/6 red silty clay, modeled with 40%, 2.5 YR 4/4/3 red silty clay. And 20% 5 YR 4/6 yellowish red silty loam. Yellow red, real yellowish red silty loam with 1% brick and charred wood flecking. And that's feature 620, which was removed next. And a layer of 7.5 YR 4/6 strong brown clay loam. Strong brown clay loam. And that's V1. And if for some reason you run out of room here, what we decided to do is to simply say, if you run out of room on this line, is simply to say with your remaining space, parentheses C card for the rest of description, or for the whatever field you're entering in. So the next one is artifact notes. And this is asphalt, brick, and plastic. So asphalt, and this line right there is the artifacts right there. Asphalt, brick, and plastic. And the interpretation is H2O line overburden. So this is the water line overburden from feature 620 when that was dug in the 1990s. Line overburden. And here you could put in site stratum 537 and put the one in that is not crossed out, because that was the final interpretation that was made. And then for excavator, this is these initials CXO, which is Sierra, and MBV, and the recorder usually is going to be the same, CXO, MBV, and then the supervisor is Tom, CTC, Charles Tom Chapman. And then for this right here is your inventory numbers, the bag numbers. And in this case, let's move in on this. My tired eyes are not wanting to see this. You've got 7832 is artifacts. That's the dry quarter inch. Dry quarter inch and artifacts is the same. So that's 7832. Your H2O no-seum is 7831. And that is H2O NSU, that stands for no-seum screen. And that is 7831. And it looks like that's all the bag numbers that were used, just those two right there. And then the last thing we put in is any notes, and this would include, you know, the 3 buckets and 1 H2O and 2 dry screen. So for notes, you could put in 3 buckets, 1 H2O, 1 H2O, comma 2 dry screen. And then when you get down to your opening photo, unit form and plan view, that's where you go to your unit records. And let's see, well, first the card right here is this one. And again, this is where you can click on this and it'll give you what the file name is for the card that was scanned. So I'm gonna right click and hit copy, or you can hit Control C. And for the unit form, I'm gonna paste this in here, and you can right click and hit paste. And then for the opening photo, that would be right here, which is 1030 PH. And again, with this, you're going to want to copy the whole line, including the file type. So I'm going to put that in right here, right click and paste. And then I don't think there's a plan map. Usually, if there's a plan map, it sometimes would be listed in other records. And since there's nothing listed in other records, for this, I'm going to type in none. If it said plan map over right here, and there was none in the it was missing in these unit records, I would type in missing. But in this case, there's none listed. And then finally, what you want to do is put in the creation date. And if you click on this, it'll actually have the date today. Today's the 20th, and the time. If you want to put in the time, right now it is 6 a.m. Why I'm looking so bedraggled. And then the creator is MBR. And then once you're done with this, you hit, don't hit delete because that would be bad. Hit close. And now when you go back here and click, you can see, and if you ever click on these and this goes off the screen, you can simply drag the screen down. You can see now there's one of 2 records, Stratum O, and then when you click over here, you can see you've got stratum A, which we just entered, and that has all this information right here. And that did it. You actually entered your first site stratum record or unit stratum record. So, all right, well, thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. I'm going to finish entering all the strata for unit strata for unit 1030, and then you'll be able to look at that as an example. So, all right, see you all in Slack. Bye.